Did we come from the mouth of the creep? Perhaps.
Did we emerge?
Welcome.
Burst from the creep's mouth. Oh, you guys have to let me know if my horns start to get like whack.
Whack.
For those who can't see at home, I'm in my true form. Nice to not have to hide myself, you know. Got the horns on.
She finally presented her true form to us, and it looks very much like Tim Curry, perhaps, from Legend.
You know, I love that. We got to do Legend someday, because that's a movie I love.
You know, I love fantasy films, so we should get right on that. So.
Oh, perfect, perfect. But it's got, like, some really kind of horror elements to it to be. You know what? We're not here to talk about Legend tonight.
We're here to talk about the fact that it's halfway to Halloween.
Yay! Halfway to the high holy day, the high holy season.
Yes. A mere 6 months away. Can we do it? Can we make it?
I think we're going to make it, and it's a little bit more optimistic than last year.
That's true.
So,
Very
yeah.
good point.
Yeah. And so tonight, we are talking about Creepshow Parts 1 and 2. For those who don't know, this is Neil's favorite horror movie, Creepshow 1. His favorite. Your all-time. That's
all
it.
Time.
This is it, people. So if you haven't listened to us or watched us for a while, that's the truth. And actually, back at the beginning of Cult Show days, before I was here, and one of my besties was the host, you guys did talk about Creepshow.
We did.
But we decided, you know, since it is a favorite, that we should, you know, kind of bring it back and do it again and talk about 2, because it's a perfect, like, halfway to Halloween vibe.
Yeah.
Type of
Sandra suggested Creepshow, and I was like, I'll talk about Creepshow all day long. I'll talk
anytime.
I'll talk about Romero and Stephen King and Tom Savini.
Lives it.
All day long. Anyway, what are we drinking?
Well, this is exciting. Michael brought us some ginger beer. And it's like the real kind, and it's like, it's sparkly, and it has like the really like good scent to it.
Yeah.
And some people mixed theirs. Did you mix yours?
Yes.
What'd you put in yours?
I have vodka, so a mule, basically.
A mule.
A mule.
How about you, Caleb?
I, too, have a halfway to Halloween mule.
It's also like halfway to a Moscow mule.
There you go.
Because it's not a copper mug. And aren't you supposed to have a lime? No, I don't think they had lime. I don't know. Don't ask me anymore.
I don't know.
Don't ask me more questions.
But it is time. Can we cheers?
Cheers.
Happy Friday.
Happy halfway to Halloween. Chin chin.
That is spicy.
So good. It's spicy but refreshing. I love it.
Caleb.
Yes.
Who is with us this evening?
Ooh, I've been taking notes.
I love it. I was calling him earlier. I was like, do we call you Princess Leia? Do we call you General Solo? But
yes.
They're all good things.
So you're saying that Leia took Han's name?
Well, I think she was also General Organa. But it depends what you're reading, what you're watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm reading?
What you reading?
My notes.
Who's here?
So joining us in chat, we've got Mark's Vision's Truth.
Here.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark's.
Marks.
Mark. There are Marks, because there's another one. Todd, Mindy, Hungry Boy, Pismo Mark, hence the Marks, Tommy, and Laura.
Hi, friends.
Joining us in studio, we've got Michael B. and the Space Face Macy.
Yay.
And producer Scott.
Yes.
And of course,
He's
producer
good.
Scott. The show does not work without Scott.
No.
We've seen it. It doesn't work. No, I'm just kidding. We did a fine job that one time.
It was wonderful.
It was minor panic, but it worked out.
I know.
Anyway, welcome everyone in the chat. Thank you for being here. Great to have you with us on this halfway to Halloween celebration. And of course, Michael and Macy.
Yes.
All right. So, what's going on with you this week, aside from the horns?
Aside from the horns growing this time of year. Well, I watched Creepshow with you guys, so that was kind of my big thing.
Yeah.
And I watched and finished The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Loved it. I thought it was freaking fantastic. I was super happy with it. That was
I
kind of
got
my
a text
big
from
thing.
you.
Yeah, I texted, and I was like, "Bleh," because I was just so happy with it. I still am, and it for me has a lot of like repeat watchability too. So, yeah, into it. Did you finish it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right, you did. You did.
Yeah, I always watched it on the Friday.
We still
the
have to
episode came
discuss
out,
it
so.
like in person, so I forgot.
No, it's good. It's really
Yeah.
good. Anything else?
That is the thing of note. Other than that, just the normal reading for genre junkie stuff. Yeah.
All right. I didn't watch anything, but I did finish Recursion by Blake Couch, and holy shit, thank you. That was like
Blake
a
Crouch,
really
Blake
awesome
Crouch.
gift from both of you guys.
And
so
now you've got to read his other works
I loved
too.
it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. And then I started, just started Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett's Good Omens.
Good Omens. Fabulous.
Which I didn't realize that TV show was based on a Neil
Have you seen
Gaiman.
the show?
No.
I haven't either, though I'm sure I'd love it because I love the cast. But I adore the book. It's a great book. I hope you like it.
Yeah, so far so good. I
It's
mean,
so funny.
I love the way he writes dialogue. It's very
It's
English.
cracking. It's cracking good.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I will probably watch the TV show after I finish the book.
Yes, I have to get around to that too.
Cool.
What about you?
Bunch of things you guys are talking about that I don't know anything. Nothing about.
You like hear book and you're like,
Well, you guys talking about Falcon and the Snowman or whatever, and
and
talking
the
about-
snowman soldier.
talking about the books, and anyway, yeah, I didn't watch anything either worth reporting other than what we watched, the Creepshow, and then I rewatched part 2 again as well for the show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good.
You know, one thing I did, you and I had a little text conversation as well a few days ago.
What did we talk about?
Well, one of your kitties actually reached out to me initially.
Oh, yes, it did. Yes.
Do you happen to have that conversation on your phone? Like, could you recount
Can
it real
I
quick?
pull it up?
Can you pull it up? Because the only reason I ask is,
I guess.
so one of her kitties texted me,
Yeah.
and so I texted something back, and I spent like 8 minutes like writing this what I thought it was kind of a clever text, and all I got back from Sandra was a sad face emoji. I'm like,
So
that's exactly the opposite of what was the thing.
So I reached out to him. Well, it wasn't me. It was a cat using my phone to ask Neil for some help. And I said, like, Aunt Sandy needs your help. And he says, sorry to say, little kitty, Aunt Sandy is smoking crack. I mean, literally, sucking on the glass appendage of Thor. Never heard that term before, by the way. Full-on addict. Have you not noticed the tics, burned lips, and opened wounds? She's so bad, people under the freeway run from her. I'm not saying she's without hope, but her favorite ice cream flavor is pralines and smack. If I give her... Anyway, she's just going to dip them in acid, roll them, and smoke them like vegan sausage. She supports Just Say No to Drugs because it leaves more for her. Look, kitty, maybe we can work something out between us and the other inmates.
Is that it? Okay. So.
Don't let Aunt Sandy know about our plans. She will shank me. And a heart emoji. Yeah. To which I wrote back the sad face emoji. Because I was then sad. I was sad by the things you said about me. And he was like, that's it? Just a sad face
That's
emoji?
all? That's it? A sad face emoji?
I know, and he did work really hard on that, and I think we can all tell that you worked really hard on
Anyway.
it. No, it was...
I was like it was a nice break from work. I was just like started typing this thing, and she sent me a picture of the cat and then did this thing, and I was like, oh. So
like,
I
this
started
cat needs
typing.
your help. And,
Anyway,
yeah.
it was a nice little break for me. So. So.
Oh, it was a nice little break for me too. Nice little break for me feeling good about myself. So, thank you, Neil.
You've been clean for a number of years now, so we know that.
A number of years. All the years. All the years.
Oh, bad. Anyway, well, that was all. I just wanted to get people's opinions, see if anyone is saying anything about nothing, but. Okay. That's all.
Gory Bits came in.
Yes, he
I
did.
can't really see
Gory.
chat, but I saw Gory Bits. Gory Bits. I always say it like Oprah. What else you want?
That is it. Other than the fact that we have a new subscriber,
What's it?
and it is Monkey Smiles 1111.
That's an awesome name. I love
Nice.
that.
I almost said Monkey Shines. That would be kind of
I know, right?
kind of fitting for
Yeah.
this episode.
Well,
Yes,
thank you for
indeed.
not being anonymous, Monkey Smiles 1111.
One.
I love it. I think that's
11,
awesome.
11.
Awesome name.
All right.
All right. Should we talk about tonight?
Tonight.
So we already told you that we're going to talk about Creepshow 1 and 2 as a celebration of halfway to Halloween and Neil. Just a general Neil celebration. So I have my notes on my phone. I'm not being rude and just like checking messages or something. So I wanted to talk about the fact that tonight and tomorrow, but tonight is a holiday of sorts. Did you all know that?
I didn't.
No.
No.
So it is not a coincidence that we are like halfway to Halloween. I mean, we are in the calendar, but there's stuff around it. So I'm just going to tell you about it. So you remember back when we talked about the Wicker Man and we talked about all the fun pagan shenanigans and yeah, the Wicker Man and the May Day, all of that stuff. You guys
Right.
remember?
Yeah.
So tomorrow is May Day, May 1st, aka Beltane, which is one of the big pagan Sabbats. It's the Celtic Fire Festival. You get to celebrate love and passion and sex and fertility and all the good things in life. So in Germany, of course, they had pagans and they celebrated May Day as well, because it seems to be a theme that people celebrated it in all of these European pagan countries, and they celebrated the night before and the day of. So that became known later as Walpurgis. I see some people. Yes, and forgive my pronunciation. I'm not even going to try. I'm just not going to try. AKA Walpurgisnacht, AKA Hexennacht, AKA Hexenbrunnen.
Cool. I like those words.
Those are all good words. Hexenbrunnen, I think, literally means witches burning. So that's kind of, I mean, it's kind of metal, but it's also kind of sad. So as Europe was getting Christianized, a nun named Walpurga, she came over to Germany. I don't remember where from. This is like late 8th century, like just a singular 8th century.
So the 700s.
Yeah, long ass time ago. They didn't have Creepshow, they didn't have Shudder, they didn't have anything. It was a sad, sad time. So she became like the one that everybody like prayed to for. Look, she came there to battle pests, whooping cough, and rabies. And so as she got canonized, people started to like pray to her to also protect them against witches. Somehow that translated pests into witches, I guess. So as we know now, Germany had a pretty nasty witch hunt. It was pretty brutal. Some people think like, oh, this one was worse or this one was worse. A lot of people argue that the German one was like the worst witch hunt. I digress. And they were trying to like, chase the pagans out. What they really did was just chase them underground and into the hills, right? Because you can't really make everybody convert. So in this hysteria of the witch hunts and trying to get rid of these witches, they thought that the witches moved their celebration on April 30th to Mount Brocken. This is why I have to have notes, people, which is the highest peak of the Harz mountain range. I bet you didn't know that.
Wow.
And they said the witches would gather there to commune with Satan and plot trouble and have orgies. Sounds like a blast.
It's what you do.
I mean, where's my invitation? I would like to go to there. So then the people of the villages would do like rituals to like scare away the witches. So it was like fighting witchcraft with witchcraft when you kind of like think about it. But whatever, they're fine with it. So nowadays, in the lovely time we find ourselves in, it's kind of become a little bit of a second Halloween celebration. A lot of people dress up and they make merry and parade through the streets and do bonfires tonight and tomorrow. All of this fun pagan stuff. A lot of people also think of it as a time to reflect on witch trials and mass hysteria and, you know, kind of pay their respects to all these people who died in these awful hunts and burnings and torture.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yes, thank you. Thank
job.
you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. See, that's why I had to have notes. Those are some difficult words for me.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
That's a lot of work.
So now it's,
Okay.
but we're here, we're having fun.
Yay.
And we're celebrating because we're halfway there.
So go out into the streets, light the bonfires, dance and celebrate.
Some of us dressed up. Some of us wore a Creepshow t-shirt.
Or all our Creepshow t-shirts.
Did we?
We wore them all.
Did we indeed?
Did we?
Did we?
Shall we find out?
Yes. So, Creepshow.
Are we there now?
We're there now, but I feel like you should introduce it. Just give us, for those who have no idea, what's Creepshow, they say? What is Creepshow, Neil?
Creepshow is a 1982 horror anthology film containing 5 stories of terrifying fright, mayhem, murder, and eating. Beastie eating. The horror masters, George Romero, Stephen King, came together and decided, hey, let's make a movie together. And after some time, Creepshow is what came out of it.
And this was 1982?
82. Yes. So that is, I think, like you said, that's a real quick
Cliff's Notes
flattering,
version.
yes, of what it is. But
Yeah, kind of this lovely homage, all wrapped up in a, what do you call it? Anthology.
yes,
Yeah.
we love the anthology horror films.
We do. I mean,
We're big fans of those.
you know, it's funny because sometimes, like in an anthology, you won't always love every chapter. I wouldn't cut anything out of Creepshow personally. Like, I like them all. And it is kind of a long movie when it's
2
all
hours.
strung together. Yeah, it's about 2 hours. But which is long, but at the same
I
time,
mean, it's not Postman, but you know,
which is, how long was Postman? 4 hours?
2 days.
It was 2 days. 48 hours. Yeah.
2 days of awesomeness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 days of rolling around in the dirt for your freaking apex of the film for the climax. Anyway. So you guys are probably
the dirt fight.
the
Go
dirt
on.
fight.
Yeah.
You probably are wondering, how did George Romero and Stephen King actually come together initially?
How did they
Like,
know?
who put the peanut butter in the chocolate originally?
Or in the jelly? No, we're gonna go chocolate.
The peanut butter in the chocolate?
Like a Reese's?
Yeah, you know. Anyway, do you guys remember those commercials? Who put the peanut butter in my? You got my peanut butter in my
Zero
chocolate.
clue what you're talking about.
What?
No.
You got your peanut butter in my chocolate. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. You guys don't remember those commercials?
No.
Donnie most.
Oh man, don't.
Michael remembers.
Okay. Anyway, for those of you that remember that, good on you. Okay, Stephen King, George Romero. George Romero was approached by Warner Brothers basically because they had seen his little vampire film Martin that he did, which is about basically a vampire in a small town. And they're like, hey, we have this property we bought called Salem's Lot, which is about a vampire in a small town. So you can probably make it because you've already made something like this. So Stephen King and him got together, worked on it for a while. It eventually fell apart because of budgeting and other issues. And of course, as we all know, eventually Warner took it and made it a TV show. Stephen King was like, I don't want anything to do with it anymore at that point. Warner Brothers didn't want George Romero at that point.
Jeez, it's like a saga. I didn't know all this.
Yeah, but King and Romero stayed friends, very good friends. And so they actually worked together. They tried to do The Stand. So they had actually brought that. They're like, oh, The Stand, we can do this. This would be great. And then, of course, they started realizing that it was going to probably cost a lot of money and be like, who's going to give us the money to make this thing really happen?
They're just like, ooh, geez.
Right.
Ah.
And it's like
Yeah.
a 1,000-page book.
Right.
And it's got like a lot of effects and
Yeah.
Exactly.
stuff.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
they started thinking of what else can we do, what else, and then Creepshow kind of became the mind of between they kind of somehow in their comics, EC Comics came up
Yeah.
between them, and they're like, oh, we love these horror comics back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe we do something around that. And sure enough, Creepshow was born.
That's awesome.
But
And
yeah.
it's like it's such a cool like meeting of these powerhouse forces of horror. Stephen King, especially from the literary world, but of course he had movies, and then Romero, and then you get a little Savini in there.
Yep.
So if they're a Hershey or they're a Reese's, what's the Savini? What part does he play in that?
He would be the cookie crumble in the Reese's. Is that a?
I don't know if
know.
there's a cookie crumble in there.
I don't know. Maybe he's the rapper, the fanned rapper that goes around the Reese's.
Okay.
I
You know what
think
I
they
mean?
have a
That
patent
holds it
on
all
that.
in?
They do, yeah. That holds
Yeah.
it together.
Okay.
And when you pull it off, it kind of like.
It's adorable sound.
You like that? It reminds you of a cat. That's why.
Yeah, I like cats.
Anyway, all right. So Creepshow. I don't even know how to talk about this film in a way that is not just going to be, barfing out
Love.
happiness and love, which
Yeah.
is fine. But
Yeah.
why don't you guys? Yes.
And cockroaches, yeah.
Producer Scott says barfing out cockroaches. Very good.
Yeah.
So, why
What
don't
do
you
we
guys
think?
tell me, like, what
Yeah.
are your impressions and thoughts?
Yes. Do you want to go first,
No,
Caleb?
go right
I'll go
ahead.
first. Let me pull out my notes here. So Creepshow. Okay. I mean, I love it too. I feel like I get more and more like fun and enjoyment out of it upon every watching of it. You see more details. There's a lot of joy in this movie. Is kind of the only way I can put it. It's got a lot of charm. It's fun to look at. It's like eye candy. It's engaging and interesting tales. It's got some good gore. It's just like, it is like a little love letter. It's like a little, like, here, like they got together and they're like, we made this for you guys because we love you and we want you to be happy.
Yeah.
And it's got like
Yeah.
this, for especially the time, but I mean now too, but it's this all-star cast.
Yes.
So it's like people wanted to be a part of it. And I already said the amazing effects, but they are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would add to everything that you just said. Yes, absolutely. But what I got the most joy out of was probably watching Scott's reaction, because that was your first time, right? And you were just loving it.
First
You
timer.
were just going like, oh, this
This is so much fun.
this is gorgeous. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, he's in it too, And then on the drive home, Macy and I were talking about it. Yes, I let my 10-year-old watch it. So what?
Yeah, you have a problem with that?
11-year-old. Sorry.
11-year-old.
Had a
If you have
birthday.
a problem with that, you can come fight the culture.
But we had a really nice talk about it and what we liked about it and what she liked about it, and
Yeah.
and that was just a lot of fun. So
It's like, it's got a good balance of like swear words and creepy stuff, but also silly stuff too.
Right.
So I think it can appeal to a lot of ages.
It can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said from day one, and I've said it 1,000 times to everyone who knows me, that this is like my absolute favorite movie score.
Oh, yes.
of any
He
movie.
will say that. Do you have it on vinyl?
Yes.
I
do.
thought I saw that in your office.
My office, yep.
Yeah.
I do. I have the movie poster signed by Tom Savini, the original poster, from 1982
So cool.
that we brought to him in Indianapolis.
yep.
Sign poster, please. Sign. It is a great soundtrack too, because it kind of like it does all that good stuff we were talking about. It just ties it together.
Yeah.
It's like a rug that pulls together the whole room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's music that sometimes suits a movie so perfectly. Like, I try to think of like Poltergeist. Like, to me, the music in Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Like, it's just perfect. It absolutely suits that movie perfectly.
Yes. It wasn't an afterthought to like, oh, we need to just add a little atmosphere. It was like, it feels deliberate.
Yeah.
It wasn't who's hot right now, and
Right.
Yeah.
And the guy, so John Harrison, who did the score, he was also the first AD on the movie. So it's almost like he was on production. Did that help? I don't know, but he's clearly a talented guy, because he actually went on to direct Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, as well.
That's
Okay.
cool.
So, but he's a talented guy. He also did the music for Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Which, as you guys know,
Another
is your
favorite.
You
horror
also
film.
love.
It's another favorite.
Partially because of the music, but yeah, it's I don't know, the score. To me, it's just such a beautiful, wonderful score. It literally, I could just listen to it, put the headphones on, and kind of evaporate.
just drift away.
Into my Creepshow pillow and blanket.
Yeah, which y'all see the Creepshow pillow and blanket. These are Neil's from the personal collection.
That's right.
Right.
And this one's very soft, and it has this like nubby texture on the side.
They may or may not go home with Neil.
I would never take his Creepshow
Yeah.
blankie and pillow, because how would he sleep?
That's true.
He's like Linus without his blanket.
What I curl up with.
And I don't blame him. That's why I have my Leatherface pillow that you guys got me. I'm not giving that away.
Nope.
So
Out of my cold dead hands.
my golden hands. So we should talk a little bit about the segments, the offerings.
Yeah.
So we have the wraparound narrative, which is Billy
Billy. Yep.
and his dad, who's normally someone we love, Tom. But we don't love him here. He's such a jerk. And of course, Billy is played by little baby Joe Hill.
Yes.
So one of my favorite authors, along with Uncle Stevie. So he's pretty adorable in it. Not a great actor, and if you ever see him, and I've gotten to see him a few times in person and talk to him, he likes to talk about how fucking awful he is in that movie. But it was when he first like met Tom Savini. He said Tom Savini was just so cool, and he had this leather jacket, and he made all these scary creatures, and he's like, that dude's my hero. It's like, it's so like relatable and sweet. So I have, my first note is we are at home relaxing in our slacks.
Yep.
But this ties into a note I have at the end of the film too, but it just like made me laugh, like relaxing in slacks, because it like rhymes, and it sounds like some sort of like a cheesy 70s like song, relaxing in slacks.
Relaxing in slack.
Yeah.
Maybe a sitcom.
And the Father's Day. Oh, so we all know Billy wants to read his comic book. Dad says it's trash,
That
and then
crap. That
yeah.
horror crap.
And then like some sort of a wonderful like imaginary friend / guardian angel, the creep, shows up outside Billy's window to be like, I got you.
Yeah.
I love you. And Billy is like not scared to see him at all, which is so wonderful.
I know
He's
that
like,
smile he gets on
Yeah.
his ears just all.
yeah. He's just like, I love him. I love this guy. And so we know that, you know, the creep's going to take care of Billy, but they get whisked away into our first story, which is Father's Day.
Yes.
A lot of people's favorites, I'm told.
Really?
I mean, I like them all, but I think that this is like a really strong story to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It
right
is.
off the bat.
Yep. And let you know what you're getting into,
Yes.
for sure.
Producer Scott, upon seeing the dad, he said, look, it's Bernie Sanders. He's feeling the burn. I love it. So, of course, this one, it has the pulpy comic stuff, but it has a lot of like soap opera energy, especially like 80s soap opera, 70s
bit,
soap opera.
Yeah.
This kind of like almost over the top, you know, kind of performance. You know, the lady's got the really like drawling, like transatlantic accent.
Right.
And it just, my notes, I said like pulpy, almost like, you know, like a dime store horror novel paperback is the way this one feels to me.
Okay.
In the best way. Best
No,
way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you start to see like right away like how they transition shots and things, how it's like it's like a comic book
You see
frame,
the
you know, where
brackets
it's-
and the frames
yeah,
and the little...
it's amazing just from
little
from the
squiggly
very
bits.
beginning. You're like, oh, okay, this is something
Yeah.
special.
Absolutely.
Very special. And I love that. I love that look. I mean, it's done really well because I've also seen it done not very well.
It's been often replicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes across as not pretentious.
No, not at all.
It comes across
Yeah.
as just fun. Yeah.
No,
Right.
it's fun. Again, the use of the colors and lighting in this film
Yeah.
are represented in every story, and they are, to me, again, one of the huge selling points of this film is how vivid the colors are and how they use them. I mean, they're not hiding it all in anything. You know what I mean? There's
No.
Right.
Complete
Yeah.
backgrounds behind people and color changes in mid.
Yeah.
Speak, all kinds of cool stuff, and also evoking different emotions that are going on at the time.
Yes, and this one had a cool blue, kind of like this shirt you have on.
A little bit.
That like really cool blue color, like this shirt you
Like
have
this shirt?
on.
Oh, like this shirt?
Shirt you have on.
Are you saying I should?
I'm supposed to like
Oh, okay.
prompt Neil, and it didn't work because he was like, "This shirt."
This shirt?
Yeah.
It's getting hot in here. Hang on a second. You
I guess I'm gonna hold this for you. So for those who can't see at home, Neil is undressing.
There you go.
Oh, but wait. You got another shirt underneath. Another creep show.
All the way down.
It's creep show. Creep shows all the way down.
Creep show my pants, baby.
Oh, wow.
Well, on your feet at least.
He also has his creep show socks on too. But this one is cool. This one is like really like a comic book looking cover going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one is taken from the actual comic book that came out that Bernie Wrightson did the art for, which is on our wall behind there. Actually.
Back there.
So
Hey, I love that. I love that little flex. Yeah, we got it. It's on our wall.
on our wall.
What do you want to do about it?
You can't call me a super fan. Or you can't not call me a super fan.
He is the most super
All
fan.
right, are we still on Father's Day? Because if so,
Yeah.
can we talk about Ed Harris's dance party?
Yeah, I mean that's really what everybody's here for is Ed Harris's dance moves. He does a lot of
Amazing.
hand, a lot of
A lot of
hand
hand and a lot
stuff.
of. He did like this head thing too
Yeah.
at one point, and
He's wearing an impossibly tight pair of pants. Impossibly tight. The jeans are
It
painted on
worked.
the man.
It worked.
Oh,
And he
it
also did
fits
these
his character.
amazing match light strike things.
He's done a lot
He
of
did
practice.
the thumb at one
Yeah.
point. He did like a no look behind him at one point.
It's hours and hours of practice to get to that place.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Ed Harris did this role
Yes.
because he had just done Night Riders with
Right.
George Romero.
Oh.
And George has called him up basically and said, hey, I need you to fill a role. And Ed's like, okay. I'll do George a favor.
I'm free.
Right. And he did it. And then later he went on to play Sheriff Pangborn in Needful Things.
Well, things, yeah.
He's
Which is
also
another
in
Steeple King.
the TV adaptation from the 90s of The Stand. So clearly, I think he was like people that they like to work with, you know, you like reuse them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Father's Day has got a whole backstory of Aunt Bedelia, basically, and her dad being a real schmuck and killing the guy that she wants to marry.
I love Bedelia. She is an icon. Icon.
Yes.
Love her.
And she finally gives her dad a bash in the head with a wonderful marble ashtray.
Ashtray.
Yes.
So
Which became a little game with us.
it did.
Yeah, because I didn't know this until we watched it, but the ashtray is in every story.
Every episode, yeah.
Yeah. We won't tell you where. You have to find
You have to
it
go
for
find it yourself.
Yeah.
Some of them
Every one.
are easy and some of them are quick, kind of a little harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of us, we were looking, man. We were trying that time. So, of course, Dad, once he's risen from the grave, he looks so good.
Yeah.
He's just like goopy, like he's chunks of earth,
Yep.
like earthen man, but he still has a little bit of goo to him,
Yeah.
and he wants that cake.
Can we talk about the fact that when a hand came out that Scott went, hey, or did whatever?
It's a good jump scare.
Scott even made Scott jump.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was fun.
Yeah, but I love the way this one ends. Just, I don't know. It's just poetic. It kind of gives me Twilight Zone vibes too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who could do the best impression of the dad?
Oh, not me.
I think we should just try one.
Where's my cake? Hashtag where's my cake?
Where's my cake?
He didn't even try.
I want my cake.
I don't know. I think I won.
Bedelia, where's my cake?
Oh, look,
I want
see?
my cake, Bedelia.
Caleb does a good one, too.
Bedelia,
That's pretty good. The last
give me
part's
my
good.
cake,
you try?
Bedelia.
I think Sandra wins. I'm not even gonna try.
I don't know.
Where's my cake?
Hashtag where's my cake? And it's funny because nowadays cake means a person's ass. So that's pretty funny.
Does?
It does.
Heck yeah, dude.
Jesus, Neil, move the
Man.
rock.
Why would cake mean someone's butt?
Because it's
don't-
delicious.
Yeah, we don't have enough time. You have to do your impression.
I like carrot cake. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
let's move on.
No, you have to do your impression, though.
Okay, I'm clearing the table. I might need the table for
Oh,
this.
Jesus.
Oh,
Is it
no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've actually never tried before. This is a new game.
Neil's
Yeah.
creating-
Oh, okay.
Neil's creating room.
All right. He does. Remember, he does the clacking of his cane.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So and he
It's
goes,
cracking.
he goes, Bedelia, where's my cake? Bedelia, it's Father's Day, Bedelia. I want my cake.
No, that was really good. I don't know.
Good
Three-way
job, Neil.
tie.
Good
Three-way
job.
tie.
No, I think. Where's my cake? I think,
Where was my cake?
I think that one wins. All right.
All right, should we move on to the next chapter?
Next.
Next book.
Who's next?
Who's next?
The Lonesome Death.
The Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill. So this one features Stephen King in his best role. He loves to do a little cameo in his films, and this one I think is where he really sings because, I mean, he wrote it, so he gets what this character is trying to convey. Very silly, fun, over the top 50s, 60s sci-fi horror. And he is hilarious in this.
He is.
On purpose. It's like you are laughing with him, not at him. Can't always say that for his cameos. I love you, mwah, but can't always say that.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true. It's funny. I'll look and go like, oh, Jordy, it's like my favorite episode. But then I go like, no, I can't really say that because I love them all
Yeah.
so much. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I can't really say it's my favorite, but I am always very drawn to Jordy. I don't know why. He's just a tragic character, and it's I don't know. I love it. I love it.
And this one's got like an acid green, like toxic
little
sort of light to it.
oozy, like-
Kind of like your
yeah.
bottle there.
Okay. We're not sponsored by them, so I'm trying.
Oh yeah,
not to
Can't
show-
show it.
I'm trying not to show the
No
label.
free advertisement. You want to sponsor us? We can talk about it, but not for free, honey. But yeah.
So did you know that when Tom Adkins came on, that George Romero gave him the script
Yeah.
and said, hey, I got this flick, will you be in it?
Sure.
Tom read it and said, oh man, I love that Jordy character. I want to play that guy.
No.
And then George Romero, of course, said, well, Stephen King's already playing that one. We got this other character, the dad. But Tom, of course, took it, but he was wanted to play Jordy.
He would have been a great Jordy in his own way. It's like I almost can't imagine it, but I have such faith in the man.
I do, but Stephen King's got the face.
Oh no, it's supposed to be because he makes those cartoony little twisty faces.
Yep.
Of course, the star of this is really the meteorite mold that slowly grows over time. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's fuzzy.
All right, so Macy and I probably spent the most time talking about this episode.
Okay.
Because yes, it is funny.
Yeah.
You know, like we laugh. We had a great time when he pours the vodka into the orange juice and then stirs the container with the vodka bottle.
So funny.
Classic. That's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Stephen King was a huge alcoholic at one point. And
Alcoholic
and I'm
drugs,
wondering if that
yeah.
was like ad-libbed, like based
Yeah.
on something he had done himself or
Right.
if someone told him to do it. But anyway, it's great for laughs. But it's also such a sad story when you think about
The
it.
lonesome
you know?
death.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
it ends with him, you know, like all through the whole thing, he's, you know, what's he call himself? A
Lunkhead.
A lunkhead, you know, and you've got bad luck
lunkhead.
and you got this, and it ends with him, like, just praying to finally have good luck so he can kill himself. Like,
Yes. I mean, that is some
damn.
dark shit. Yeah. it totally lives up to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lonesome
the Lonesome
Death.
Death. Yeah.
But it's nice because instead of just being heavy, it's mixed in with a little like humor too, I guess. It's kind of the way to look at it.
And the
Right.
I like that they have the flashbacks that he always goes to, and it's the same actor playing, you know, the
Right.
the professor, the doctor,
Yeah.
and then his dad. You know, it's kind of cool. These
Yeah.
little flashbacks.
Yeah.
At the
it's just
Department
this-
of Meteors.
Yes.
Yes, Department of Meteors. It's so good. It's so
And
good.
it's funny. All he's looking for is $200.
He just
Right.
wants $200
To pay off his loan.
Not a penny less. Yeah.
Yep. Pay off that bank loan.
Oh my God.
Like $200. Jeez.
It's like, oh, he really is a lunkhead because even in 1982, I'm sure it was more than that.
I would think so. But.
Yeah, maybe not 1932, but 1982. So the next story is the tent pole. of the piece, which is my favorite title, Something to Tide You Over.
That's my favorite one.
I think this is
That's
my,
your favorite?
I'm going to say about all of them.
Okay, okay.
I think this is my favorite one, just based on the actors.
I do love it.
It's,
I love them all, though.
you got baby Ted Danson.
Yeah.
If
Baby
some of
Ted.
you younger folks here didn't watch Cheers and some of his other stuff, and maybe you just know him from like The Good Place, you should watch like this because it'll blow your mind of like how he looked in like 1982 versus now. I mean, it's like he's still totally him. He has like really like iconic eye and like nose situation, but it's just like he was like a baby.
Well, and his 80s hair, which was his,
It's so.
his big thing, was his hair and like as Sam Malone,
Yep.
and,
Yeah.
on Cheers.
Even though he was going bald, they had to keep
Right, and had to keep putting a little.
a piece.
A little piece. So this one it's really super dark. It's vengeful. This is cold-blooded. This is cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like it. We love a little vengeance here, and then especially it's like double vengeance. Because
Yep.
Leslie, right?
Leslie.
He thinks he's
Richard,
like
his name was Richard.
He thinks that he is like getting one over on the two. Oh Jesus!
Are we still here?
I hope we're still live. There was a poltergeist activity just occurred in the basement.
It was a ghost. Nothing to see.
But then they come back from their watery grave and get him.
Yes.
And I love it. I'm obsessed with the way they look. Obsessed.
I love it. Leslie Nielsen is so freaking good.
Right.
Ted Danson is so great.
Yeah.
I mean, the dialogue between the two and the whole thing leading up to when Ted Danson gets buried in the sand before the tide comes in.
Scary.
I mean, it's just fantastic. I
Right.
love that.
I would rather be shot in that situation than get into like that sand pit. I'd be like, okay, you know what? Put your money where your mouth is, because I'm not going in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Producer Scott leaves in shame after he just like knocked some shit over in the studio. Bye, producer Scott.
He's like, I just dropped my beer in the mixer. See ya.
Producer Scott's final episode, everybody.
So they come back, like you said, because he gets buried. And Leslie Nielsen is so rich, has no cares in the world, other than the fact that his wife is leaving him, basically.
Boo frickety
So he's
who.
like, yeah,
You're clearly a psycho.
Yes, clearly they come up with this plan. But when they come back, it is one of my favorite parts because it's a spooky part.
Right.
And the way it's the mist. The camera just sees the mist coming to the door, but then
Yeah.
our point of view is them actually there.
Yeah.
The voices they have. With
Well, those bubbly under the sea voices.
Right.
And like I love the way they look waterlogged and they have like that green watery
Right.
blood.
And like when they get shot, like it's like just, like red
seeps
sort
out.
of like pink seawater coming
It's
out.
perfect. It's perfect. I had some more notes here. Slacks on the Beach. More slacks. There's a lot of slacks in this movie. And Slacks on the Beach is a great band name.
It is. That's a drink.
Or a drink. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you don't like sex on the beach,
I
have a
know.
slacks
Neil
on
and I
the beach.
were right there. All right.
And the crab is the star of the show. I love that crab, man. I mean, I hope they paid that crab well, because he's just like so perfect. He's like, and like right in the frame. And then he just like, dances off to the side.
Yep. Crab on cue.
Crab on cue. That was a CGI crab. It was a motion detection crab effect. I don't know. It was a real crab,
Yeah, that's
probably.
true.
And this is a great episode because for more of the lighting, like when they lit the whole beach
Right.
at the end, right?
Yeah.
And there was like the green, the yellow, the red. They had all the colors going on the water to the sand, and it was just wonderful.
It was perfect.
So do you remember when we were interviewing William Catt?
I do.
And he said his son came on set during House and like ran out when the monster came out of the closet. So I read something where Ted Danson's daughter came on set while he was dressed in his, underwater monster. And he intentionally avoided her because he didn't want to scare her. And then she finally ran into him and said, "Oh, hi, Dad," and was totally fine with it. So I thought that was kind of cute.
That's adorable. Shall we move on to the next?
Sure.
So next is the crate.
The crate.
The crate.
I bet this is probably a lot of people's
I
favorite.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I would
would
think
bet.
so too.
It was really funny. Producer Scott, he was totally on my wavelength. I think you guys too. That it's like Billy is supposed to be so obnoxious.
Right.
She's actually really freaking awesome. She's got like the fit. She's got the accessories, that bomb 80s hair, and she's the most interesting person at this boring party. Like, but I guess we're supposed to think her brash and uncouth. But
Yeah.
I don't know. And she does take a turn on us. Later, we all were disgusted when she put that booze in that milk.
Yeah.
Drinking her milk booze.
We
Yeah.
were like, you know what, Billy, you just lost us.
Yeah.
You just lost the crowd.
I mean, brown liquor, well, no liquor ever goes in milk,
No.
so.
No. No.
I mean, not a big old glass of milk like that anyway.
No.
So, Hal Holbrook,
Hal Holbrook, everybody.
Yeah.
Fritz Weaver, yes.
Yeah.
He's great. He plays kind of a, I don't know. He's not a very nice person.
Which one, Hal or Fritz?
Hal.
Hal. I don't
Yeah.
think Hal is too nice of a person is his problem.
Yeah.
Well, until he kills his wife
Well-
and he's like, yay, shivering with glee in the basement.
Well, you know, I mean, he had a good idea. But
Yeah, good
I think
idea.
Fritz is more, or Fritz's character, I should say, I call Fritz a bad
Yeah.
person, but Dexter.
He really
Dexter
loses
Stanley.
it.
He's the one who's kind of known for playing with the young students and getting in trouble.
Well, or
So-
was that even real, or was that just something he was making up to lure Billy?
No, I think that
No,
was.
I think that was a thing.
That was
You
a
think
thing.
that's a thing?
Yeah, because at the party you see him talking to a young woman.
It's
Exactly.
true. I didn't.
And then
yeah.
Hal Holbrook's character comes over and says, "Hey, you want to come over and play chess tonight?" And he's like, "All right, I
Oh,
was
see, I
gonna
thought he
get
was-
laid, but
I thought he was massaging that, but
Yeah.
never mind. I mean, they're both creeps, and they want to cover up murder. The poor baby Fluffy. The poor baby Fluffy. I love Fluffy. Who doesn't love Fluffy?
Fluffy's wonderful.
So that poor thing has been locked up since 1834. He is hungry. He is scared. It breaks my heart when he pushes his crate back into the dark spot that he is used to.
Right.
That is heartbreaking. Almost as if to say, please leave me alone. And these idiot humans keep like dangling their meat in front of him. And so he's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since 1834.
right.
How can you blame him?
Yeah, you can't. Not at all.
I'm always
cannot.
going to be a monster apologist
Right.
in any way I can be, because I love the monster, like so many of us. I love the monster. Fluffy was wronged.
Yep,
He was. And
he did.
Yeah.
They disturbed him and all for a quarter to get a Coke.
I'll just.
Oh, I just had to have
It was
my
his last
Coke.
quarter.
But good old Henry, Hal Holbrook has a wonderful idea. He's going to feed his wife to
Yeah.
the monster.
He's like, I'm just.
It's a wonderful scene though, where he makes up this whole story about everything and lures her to the
Yes.
college, the university, and gets her downstairs into the laboratory.
We kept saying that laboratory. We were having too much fun.
Yeah, and then finally gets
That whole scene is great because he's narrating,
Yeah.
you know, what he's written, and of course, you know, she's reading
Yes.
this note, but her reactions to everything, it's
She's
just,
like,
they're
oh
great,
shit,
you know,
this
they're
is
just-
juicy. Like, she wants to get in on the hot gossip of the university.
right. Yeah.
the special effects, the special gore effects in this one
yes.
Talk to us
are
about it.
especially
Bill.
on point.
Yes.
Because you got poor Charlie, the grad student,
Right.
who gets some super duper awesome eating going on, basically big chunk out of his neck.
It's
Right.
brutal.
Gets the
The
scratch across the
scratch,
face, and his
yeah.
eye, and everything. It's
Fluffy gotta eat.
it's pretty brutal.
But it was just done so well.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Savini just
yeah.
top notch. And I read that this was his first fully animatronic
Creature.
creature.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, and he actually was talking on the phone, or got some insight from Rob
Botine?
Botine.
Oh, yeah.
From
We've
the
talked
Thing.
about, yeah.
Yeah. And he gave him some pointers, which I thought was kind of cool. You know,
That's really cool.
Working together. You
That's
know?
I think
Sharing
we
some
talked about it
secrets.
before. That's a big thing in makeup and effects, And it's people have often shared and collaborated. And
Right.
that's really cool because I feel that Fluffy came across so effectively.
There's some great behind-the-scenes footage of Tom just creating Fluffy, carving him and sculpting, and then out in the field testing the makeup, the suit, I guess we're gonna call it, but the mask especially. There's some pretty cool stuff out there.
He's got piercing eyes, beautiful eyes.
Beautiful yellow eyes.
He has his father's eyes. Can't
Isn't what the janitor reached in for? Because he thought
Oh my God!
He thought they were emeralds or something.
Stop. It's like, stop! Don't stick your hand in there. Don't do that.
Oh, emeralds,
He's
John.
like, oh, forget my quarter. There's jewels in their treasure.
Not a good idea.
Not a good look.
Whatever. Janitor's gone. He was kind of sucked up like spaghetti.
Oh, I mean, because that's what Fluffy was super hungry. He was like, it'd be funny is maybe Fluffy never ate a person before, but now he has a taste for flesh.
Maybe.
Because he was like, I always just ate like Arctic animals and like seals and stuff.
Right.
But now I eat people.
No, man, I got human. I got human meat.
I want to see Fluffy get out of that quarry. That's what I want.
Man, they gotta make a Fluffy too. Like we gotta figure out,
Yeah.
the adventures of Fluffy.
Oh, you know what'd be
But
fun?
Fluffy's the hero, though.
You know what'd be fun is like maybe Creepshow season 3 on Shudder. They could do a little. Like they don't even have to like say that it's the same character. We just will all know
Yeah.
that it's what
Start in a
happens to them.
quarry and then,
Yeah.
the beast gets out. And,
Yeah, he's been like buried for like some time, and I mean, I think we just wrote it. We just did your job for you, Shudder. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Greg Nicotero.
You're gonna get there. They're creeping up on you.
Episode 5.
Another great title. They're creeping up on you.
Yeah, and also the worst, just for like
A lot of roaches. We did notice in the credits there were 2 roach wranglers.
Yeah.
Which obviously would have been my job.
Yeah.
Like roach and crab wrangler.
I know.
I would have been like dangling something for the crab to do that little dance he does, and and I would have been a roach wrangler, just like trying to like collect all the roaches, and I would have started out really organized, every roach labeled, named, and then it would have just been like fucking chaos as the roaches.
Yeah.
Blech.
Especially when you found out they used 250,000 roaches
That's so many roaches.
at
That
50
is
cents
so
a pop.
many.
The majority of the budget went to the roaches.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That is really crazy.
Yeah.
And that's also a lot of roaches, which is
Yeah, a lot of roaches, a lot of
fucking disgusting.
It reminds me of Star Wars, like a lot of Bothans died. A lot of roaches died to bring us this. I mean, it's about the roaches.
Yeah,
To the roaches, everyone.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I'm
you will
fine.
toast to the roaches.
Fine to the roaches.
they.
Not drinking though.
Into that.
That would definitely. I would not be a fan of the actor on that set when they're just running around you and running all over you. And
How do you think I felt as roach wrangler? I mean, I love insects and I love bugs, but that's a lot of little legs on you.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, and they hiss. Some of them hiss at you.
Well, you hiss at me.
Well, this is different. I don't have a lot of legs. I only have 2. So it's when you have 6 or more legs, it becomes an issue.
Oh my God, I don't mind your hissing now. Just wait till I have more legs. So upon watching this as a grown-up, which I allegedly am, I got a lot more out of this episode.
Yeah.
There's a social commentary here.
Definitely
And
is.
it's not subtle, but the first time I saw this being a kid, it doesn't totally sink in, but he's this rich elitist weirdo. I said Howard Hughes vibes, except for no tissue boxes on the feet, which is a good look, by the way.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have those, and so he talks about like, I grew up in Hell's Kitchen and I've been beating bugs all my life. So it's like he's obviously, and then the way he treats the maintenance guy that comes to the door. He's obviously talking about the poor,
Yep.
people of color, the downtrodden, the people without homes, and now he's become like this kind of obsessed weirdo with like white and
Yep.
purity.
Germaphobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, living in a extremely anyway, I call it what's the
Yeah.
Just stark,
sanitized
world. Minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanitized. Yeah.
Super.
But he's got all this cool technology that, like, for the time, even like he had you push the button and the clock would tell you what time it was, and the clock would talk to you,
and the little trash thing that goes.
sucks the stuff in, and
Yeah.
he had an intercom system. You just kind of push these. They're not even like they weren't like tactile buttons, you know. When you like movement, they were kind of like just little pads almost, kind of thing.
A little bit of futurism going on there.
Yeah, but man, E.G. Marshall just did
Yeah.
a great job in that. He was just such a
Yeah.
scoundrel.
Such a scoundrel. You know what's funny is, like, for being this like really kempt guy, his hair was super unkempt.
It was.
You would have thought he'd had like a little net cap on or something, you know, like.
I mean, you'd think he'd just be in a freaking hazmat suit.
Yeah,
but-
or like a shave. Oh, I touched my horns. Or maybe like a shaved head or something, like, so that he didn't have anything on him.
Right.
Yeah, but it's it certainly adds to his like madness
Yep.
look
Yeah.
as he slowly unspirals.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun episode.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
Just because, between the people he interacts with on the phone.
Oh my
And
god,
how-
he's so evil.
Yeah,
he's
he's-
so uncaring.
Yep.
Yeah, talking to the woman that her husband just committed suicide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the guy's on vacation.
The guy's
He's just like-
the firing the
Yeah.
guy basically.
Yep.
Yeah. He's just trying to be in Disney World.
Right.
It's
With
so
his
sad.
family.
Oh, he's so mean. And it's like, no wonder you're alone and unhappy. You are an awful person, sir.
All you care about is money.
All you care about is money.
You and your money. But
Yeah.
But he gets it pretty good in the end when he
Oh, it's a great effect.
retreats to his. Is that his bedroom? You
I
think that's where he
guess
sleeps?
so.
What
Yeah.
is it?
Because there's a bed.
There's a bed.
There is. I don't. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Like I always
I
thought
guess-
it was like kind of like his panic
Panic
room or
room.
something.
I bet
but
he doesn't sleep. He's probably so like neurotic, but you know, like he probably doesn't sleep. He probably just sleeps sitting on his desk. Like
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
Living on pureed bran flakes. Whatever he eats.
that scene. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was
Flakes
making
and
like that
bugs.
smoothie, but it's got bugs in it. Not on purpose either. I love the effect though when he dies and the roaches just come out of his
Everywhere.
shell. Yeah, of his everywhere shell.
So there's good stories on that too for the Wranglers because they did the thing where they had a tube underneath there, right?
Right.
And there was basically a guy pushing the bugs through the
my
tube,
God.
so they
Oh
would
my
burst.
God.
They would burst out.
Yeah.
But one of the first takes, the bugs had a different idea.
Of course they
And
did.
they're like, no, we're gonna go back down the tube.
I love it.
So when they went on
yes.
the guy's arm,
Yeah.
the person went running out of the soundstage screaming with the bugs all over him, just like running out
Wow.
of there.
You know
Which
what?
is what I would do.
No, see,
Right.
if they'd
So-
hired me, I would have stuck. I would have gotten the shot first take with my roaches.
Right. Yeah.
I
First
would've-
of all, I would not be in that position.
Right.
At all.
I would have contacted the Roach Union and made sure that like we're all on the same page with what we're gonna do here.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I'm with you. And I'd probably be like, no, I don't think that's my position.
They're like,
I'm gonna get
good.
the bagels, but I'm not gonna touch the roaches.
But if I touch the roaches, I will light myself on fire.
Yeah.
So be warned. So tying it back around, we now have the trash collectors. One of them is Tom Savini, getting the comic book out of the garbage. So it's a nice like kind of tie into the beginning because the dad and this, and the mom, but especially the dad, they're upper middle class suburbanites, and they wear their slacks and they have their stiff drinks, and they're like, this is not culture, this isn't like, what you should be reading, what you should be doing. And the working class dudes who are hella cool and funny are like, comic books, horror, and it's like, well, those are our people, right? Like
Yes.
that's ties it all up in a nice little bow.
And they find the voodoo doll has been cut out.
Oh yeah, you can't get that. Somebody's already got
Someone
that.
already got that.
Yeah, but who?
I
But who?
wonder.
You know what? And that's what the creep was hand delivering to Billy.
Oh,
He was
there
like,
you go.
Billy, here's your
It
doll.
was special order.
Yeah, special
was-
order,
it was
rush
overnighted.
delivery. Yeah, exactly.
You
He's
paid
like,
extra for that.
because this is a Halloween movie. There's
That's right. You better
there's
hurry
a
up.
pumpkin in the front. So what I think is that in my head canon, this takes place on Devil's Night, the night before Halloween. And so they let him put his pumpkin out with a light, but that's why he's not like dressed up or trick-or-treating or anything.
Okay.
This is my headcanon.
That works.
That's why they don't talk about Halloween specifically, because it's tomorrow.
Right. I'll take that.
Take that.
Works. And his dad probably won't let him go trick-or-treating anyway.
No, I'm sure unless he dressed up like, I don't know, who was like Jimmy Carter or something, they wouldn't let him go trick-or-treating.
No.
That dad wouldn't like Jimmy Carter.
Who would he? Richard Nixon.
Nixon, man. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll take Nixon or...
Reagan.
Well, Reagan was
82, yeah.
Yeah, then definitely Reagan. He's like, you can dress up as Ronald Reagan, or you don't go trick-or-treating. Wear my slacks, son.
You must walk the streets preaching Reaganomics. That's all you can do.
Instead of trick-or-treating, he has to just like recite like Ronald Reagan speeches.
Yeah, pretty much.
Brilliant.
Wonderful.
Brilliant.
And then it ends again with the whole animated bit.
Yes,
There's a little animated
it's
creep
so
at the end,
beautiful.
puts the candle out, and wonderful music sets in.
Yeah.
Wonderful film. I love it.
You know what I feel like we need right now?
What's that?
I feel like we need two things.
Okay.
I feel like we need a fresh shirt and an unboxing.
Ooh. All right. Luckily, I can help you with both.
Hi!
Yay.
Want me to hold that again?
Can you hold it for me?
Sure. Let's see what's underneath Neil's
Sure.
sex layer.
My sex layer?
Your sexy layers. As he goes. Wow. That one wasn't as sexual and dramatic as
wasn't?
the first one. But that's okay. The next one will be.
He's getting tired.
Next.
Getting a little worn out.
It's a little worn out.
There's only so much sexy I can have in one day.
It's only so he's hit capacity. What's the unboxing, Neil?
So this is the wonderful fluffy mini mask from
We can see his eyes.
from I think Fright
Fright
Rags.
Rags?
I think it was
Yeah.
Fright Rags. Yeah, made this couple years ago. I think.
Yeah.
I've had this for a long time, kind of waiting.
Emeralds!
No, don't stick your hand in the grate.
Producer Scott, didn't they teach you anything?
He didn't listen. It's got all of the script, like from the movie on the front too.
Does
Arctic
it have
Expedition.
it? Oh, cool. From Julia Carpenter. Yep. From Horlicks University.
Yep.
Right.
Cool.
So Carpenter and Antarctica, is that like a
thing?
A thing?
A thing thing?
A thing
A thing. Well, it would have been. Yeah, I mean, it could have been a thing.
Thing thing.
There he is, Jimmy Dillon.
Yeah, take it on. You can-
That's
Oh my
cool.
god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah!
He's a mini mask. He's so cute. Fluffy.
I'm sorry, baby, you were robbed. Justice for Fluffy. This is great. I love their masks. They're so cool.
It's actually,
It's pretty substantial.
yeah, it's good, thick, like plastic. It's not a
Yeah.
little teeny thing. So.
Yeah. And it looks really cool and it's great too, but you could also just hang
Can
it
you
up.
wear this or would it actually break, you think?
I think that would break.
Okay.
Let's not test luck here.
Yeah.
You look good.
Okay.
Looks exactly
Looks
the
like-
same as you already
Doesn't
did.
it?
Yeah.
If you were a baby, that'd probably work.
Yes.
Put this on
Baby
your
mask.
baby.
Right? Baby's first Halloween.
Actually, probably don't put this on your baby. I'm sure.
Put it on the American Girl doll.
Put it on an American Girl doll. It's perfect.
This will
Yeah.
actually look really good on Michael B., who's right now in our. This is
And this
perfect.
is from 2018, but I bet you could find it on eBay.
eBay. Cool.
I love
That is
it.
the fluffy
Awesome.
mask.
Thank you, Neil.
Yay. Welcome to the Cult Show, Fluffy. I guess we should hang him up.
But yeah.
Even though I want to take it home, I think I will not steal
Let him
it.
stay here.
Let him stay.
Let Fluffy stick around.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we've got to talk about Creepshow 2. Get ready for some hot takes. Hot takes coming your way. Creepshow 2. You love it or you hate it? Pretty much. So this is, they try to capture lightning in a bottle once again.
5 years later.
5 years later. My biggest problem with Creepshow 2 is all those things we talked about with the first Creepshow. The colors, the sound, the cut scenes and little cut images, the wonderful framing, the little color frames too. I don't know what the comic book term is. That's more of a Hungry Boy thing. All of that's gone. All of that charm is gone from the second one. And it doesn't feel as it doesn't feel like Creepshow.
No.
To me. Because you had the fun anthologies and the wraparound, and instead the wraparound is animated this time, and it's not my favorite style of animation, not gonna lie, and it doesn't sing, it doesn't have the poetry and the joy of the first Creepshow to me.
Yeah, it fails in every aspect. I mean, between again, I'm stopping because because I went into this film in 1987 to go watch it, of course, in the theater, very excited.
Sure.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when the movie, just almost from the beginning, when it's different music, and when it gets going, it was just, I mean, it was such
We have, even though it's Tom Savini, but we have the creep is different. He's like,
just an old
kind of trollish.
Spectre man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he's like delivering the comic books.
But these weren't his effects, though, right? He was just acting in this movie.
He was a consultant.
A consultant.
On the effects.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, that's fine. It's just, why is the creep, or it's not even a creep, it's just a different character altogether.
It's like a it's like a guy in the back of a truck.
We always
saying, "Hey kid, you want a comic book?"
Yeah. It's like we always say this, but it's like if you were trying to order the creep and you ordered it off of Wish, and this is what you got. I know that joke is going to be old for us at some point, but it's not yet. We still like it. And so that's just kind of, that's it for me. No charm.
Yeah. No, there's no charm.
charm.
I mean, and there are people, God save you, there are people, and I know one of them who actually likes this film better than Creepshow, than the first one.
Oh.
And I'm just like, that's impossible. You can't. I mean,
I had not heard a lot of good things about this. I know this movie does have its fans and its defenders. So I went into this one fairly open-minded because I was like, well, I know because I'd never seen it until this week. I was kind of like, well, you know, I might enjoy it, but I'm not going to enjoy it as much. You know, be kind of one of those sequels. But I really just didn't take a lot of joy in it at all.
Yeah. No, I mean, even like, I don't want to say like the first story, right?
Old Chief Woodenhead.
It almost felt mean-spirited in a way to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Right off the bat, the energy is very made-for-TV movie.
Oh God! The music when the husband and wife are talking,
the
it's
acting,
like a melodrama.
Yeah, and but it's like if it was more referential, being a melodrama,
right,
you could sell it. But it's not quite there. It's like, but not quite there.
Yeah. And I like George Kennedy.
Yeah,
you know?
nothing against George
he's a
Kennedy.
good actor, of course.
You know,
yeah.
and you know, he's kind of the high point of that episode, and
I would
just
say
kind of ends there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you've got a white person playing
cringe.
doing like, I guess you'd call it red face.
I think that's what people call. I mean, it's one of those things where in 1987 they didn't really give a fuck,
right?
Which is, I mean,
and again, I like that actor too, who's on that.
Oh yeah, he's been in a million things.
I was going to ask you, did you guys know who that was?
Yeah, he's probably like tried to scrub that from his IMDb.
You know, and he's probably just a young actor, just trying. You know, and so I'm not like faulting him.
They
but
gave
it's
him
just
a
like,
Cher wig, like vintage Cher, and they're like, here, now you're Native American, and it's a little cringy,
right.
And it's, you know, again, it was racist then, and it's racist now. It's just that then people didn't care enough to do anything about it,
right.
Because they just hushed down marginalized voices. So there's also something kind of what they call the stereotype of like the noble savage about it too. Which I do think that it's sweet that the statue wants to get revenge for the shopkeeper, and there's like this friendship between the tribe and the shopkeeper and the statue, and he wants to like have honor and vengeance for them. So there's something kind of sweet in there.
Right.
But it doesn't. I mean, you don't even get to see the kills.
That
like,
gets kind of lost.
Yeah.
Like
it gets,
those good intentions sort of like are sort of
blurry.
pushed aside or blurred. Yeah. That's
and you don't even get to see the kills.
Yeah.
You know, like
The one guy with the arrows gets it. You see the arrow.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but we wanna
that,
see
that guy,
Sam get it.
the large
Yeah.
character,
Oh, yeah.
Hal Helbrick's son.
No. That's so sweet. I like that.
His name's David Halbrook.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
But yeah, he's the only one. I mean, the one you want to see, you know, the what's his name, Sam? I think?
Sam, yeah, the one you want to see
Sam.
get
The one you
gacked.
want to see
White Moon, I think?
get
Sam
fucked
White Moon,
up.
yeah.
I mean, you just see his hair, you know, hanging from, you know, the statue's
It's not
hand
enough.
later. Like, no, I want more than that
I want more than that. I want a lot more than
for
that.
what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was so out of control and like
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
an asshole.
Yes. Even against his own people.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
his family, it's his uncle, and you know the shopkeeper's like, your uncle is one of the best men I think he says I've ever met in my life, and
Yeah.
this a-hole doesn't care because he wants to go to Hollywood.
Right. And everyone's gonna love his hair.
Oh my God, he is obsessed with it. He is obsessed with it. He's like, haven't cut it in 8 years.
Yeah.
And like he practically goes through like his wash and dry routine, and everybody's like, I don't give a fuck, you're robbing our store right now.
It's like the Patrick Bateman of the Navajo
Oh my
world.
God, he is the Patrick Bateman.
Every day I put on. Anyway, if we
So-
talked about Huey Lewis, we'd be set.
So then that happens, and it's done. We get more ridiculous Billy filler. And now it's something with a
Billy Filler.
with Billy Filler. It's something with a frickin' Venus flytrap
Yep,
and
goes
a
to pick up
bully.
a.
and
Yeah. Yep.
Wah, wah. It's so boring.
Yes. Again, not charming. Just
Boring.
kind of boring. What's next?
The raft.
Oh, wait, hold on. I did have one more note I had to
Okay.
bring
Okay.
up. I had to bring this up. Why does the wooden man yowl like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park? Listen to it and tell me I'm wrong. Sounds like the T-Rex.
Okay, well, this came out before.
I know.
Jurassic
It's
Park,
a little
so-
Inception. So you think like maybe they just used that sound for the T-Rex. They were like, I saw this movie once, Creepshow 2. I think we got it.
Steven Spielberg definitely was like,
Yeah.
trying to sound his
Yeah.
others. He's like, there's this Indian howl.
Yeah, he's like, the movie's shitty. It doesn't matter. What matters is this howl.
Sound, I must have the
I must have it. I must acquire it. So the raft. Oh, the raft. You can just put in Creepshow 2 and it auto-completes the raft.
Yes, it does.
This is where everyone associated with this film lost their goddamn minds. There's no nice way to put it. Talk about wanting to scrub from the resume. I mean,
Yeah.
oof.
Yikes.
I'm gonna let you start us off, Caleb.
4 college students, one of them a fucking major asshole that you wouldn't ever want as your friend,
Yeah.
drive to a
50 miles.
river, swim hole, whatever the fuck
To
it is.
go to a raft.
To go to a raft.
In the middle of the lake. So
And once they swim out to the
Yeah.
raft, some muck, some
Trash bag.
yeah, trash bag.
oh my god, a trash bag on
cut
the
open.
water. You know what it looks like to me is like when you have hot chocolate or something. And it's like a skim.
Oh, it's the scum.
That nasty, skimmy, scummy crud on the
That's the
top.
milk. You mean when the milk, after you heat the milk up? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, maybe it's cool, and you go to have a drink of it, you burn off all your
Right.
taste buds. It's that. So I had to Google why the two bros were calling each other Poncho and Cisco, because I was like, I feel like I'm missing something
it's
here.
the TV show that the rich kids' parents were watching
In the first one.
The first
yeah,
one.
I got there eventually.
Okay.
But I was like, I was like, this feels referential, and I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah.
I said some wise words from Deke here. I only believe in what I can smell, taste, and touch. Wow. He's a scholar.
He
He's a
is.
scholar, that
is
man.
deep.
And then he threatens to hit Laverne after their friend just gets eaten. He's like, I'm gonna deck you, or whatever the stupid shit he says. And it's like, I'm sorry, we're having a crisis here, Deke. Like, somebody just got eaten by the scum thing. Like, are you not upset? I'm upset.
Yeah.
So I feel like, oh my God.
So it's sort of, that reminded me, I flashed on
Yeah.
Rollerball when James Caan,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, grabs the girl, you know, to like,
Yeah.
because he's mad at someone else. And
Yeah.
it's just like, so unnecessary.
It's the same thing
So
of like,
unnecessary.
I'm going to take out my anger on you, woman, instead of this situation that I'm in. I had an idea. Why didn't they try to get the blob high? Hear me out. They had all that weed. Why didn't they try to smoke out the blob? And so then I was like,
worth a
it could have
shot.
been like the song by Afro Man, Because I Got High. Remember that song? He was gonna like eat some kids, but then he got high. I don't know. I just feel
like
like they
it.
didn't try enough.
They didn't try enough.
So,
There was too much like sleep touching.
oh Jesus.
to-
Okay.
God.
Let me just take a breath. Let me just take a breath. So, people, I remember, were saying, oh, Sandra's going to be so mad. Sandra's going to be so mad last week in the comments. Yeah, I'm fucking mad. Like, anybody with a goddamn conscience should be mad and grossed out, unless you are a freaking sociopath, sexual assaulter. That scene is like super unnecessary. And I'm not against nudity. I'm not against even depictions of sexual assault in movies if it forwards the plot or the characters. This felt like totally unnecessary though, and just like a weird excuse to like show an assault. So crazy. I don't know what the fuck they were
why
thinking.
are they playing like romantic music
They're
while it's
playing like
happening?
romantic music. It's
Like,
so
it makes
cringy.
no sense whatsoever.
It's cringy.
Yeah.
It's gross. And he's supposed to be kind of the nicer asshole of the two assholes. It's like, nah, no, not cool. Not cool, bro. And if you don't think that's gross, then you should take a long, hard look at your life because you got some problems.
It was.
Yeah.
It was exploitive. I mean, that's pretty much the only reason it was in there that I can
Yeah.
think of
Yeah.
was that this wasn't a Warner Bros. Film. This was New World at this point.
Oh.
And it's almost like New World's like, we need boobs.
Yeah.
Find a place to put boobs in.
And they're like, there's no place
I
we
know,
can
but
put
that's
them in.
that's how you like. I mean, it makes no
they could have
sense to
easily
me.
done a skin dipping thing. Or
Right.
they could have
That's
done something
exactly
else.
it. Yeah, they could have
And that
done
would have been
something different.
fine,
Yeah,
you
that would
know,
have been fine. That would have been like, oh, these kids, and we all would have laughed
it's
it off.
just bizarre. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
even on IMDb, if you look at Creepshow 2, like under all the warnings, it just
Yeah.
says mild sexual content.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Some things haven't caught up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, with that, because that was just bad. That's just really bad, and it taints what was otherwise probably my favorite story.
Oh,
in there.
really?
Well, you guys know I love a little nature versus human
I guess that's true.
sort of thing, and so I was kind of like, oh, we're going out to the lake. There's going to be a blob. Like I was on board. So super big bummer, man. I hope people learn their damn lessons.
Remember, I was the one when I was saying there's something in there you're not gonna like.
You did say that.
I was the one, so
Yeah.
I don't want you to blame anyone else, but that was me.
Well, there was others, but it's
okay.
okay. But what I'm
But-
saying is,
and
all
I
of y'all
was-
should not like it.
No, right, but I was just saying in particular, I know of something. There's one thing for sure I know that's
Yeah.
not gonna sit well with you.
And it didn't.
Basically, and that was the scene. I know there's other things, but that was going to be the
Yeah.
main thing that I know. Because even if I can catch it, then you know.
And he's pretty dense.
Then you
Neil's not a bad person. It's just a thick
Right,
wall.
it is.
to permeate.
There's a lot of scum. What do you call it? The film.
Skim,
What was
scum.
the thing we called it on the milk?
Chud.
Chud.
There's a lot of chud crud on
There's a lot
there.
of
Your
Cooey in
brown
that.
liquor and milk, Neil.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you put brown, oh my God, it makes the blob. She made the blob. Billy
Oh,
made the
yeah,
blob.
that's
That's the
true.
tie-in
That's
between the
true,
two
Right, and
pieces.
she
Because
poured,
it
she
curdles.
poured it down the sink, and then it like
Yeah,
went out
worked
to
its
the
way out.
river, and
It all works
boom.
its way to the water sources, people.
Yeah.
So that happened. Then we have Hitchhiker, because you only get 3.
That's it.
You only get 3 in
So
this
there were
one.
going to be 5 at one point. There were 2 other
happened?
stories that were cut out.
Yeah.
One was called Cat from Hell, which they later used in Tales from the Dark Side, the movie.
Yeah.
And then the other one was never filmed, called Pinfall. about two rival bowling teams.
Wow, sounds fascinating.
That was not used in anything else.
It sounds like a riveting piece
No,
of
I think it was
horror.
like, one team kills the other team and the dead team comes back. So it's kind of like,
Oh, I like that.
well, it's kind of like the Tide
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's like a revenge sort of.
I could have hung with that.
So, but it was all cut for money reasons, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a bummer because I would have liked more stories.
would've-
It would have given the whole thing more substance, but
It would've,
maybe they
but-
would have been a bad. I don't know. Maybe they would have been just as bad. So in The Hitchhiker, we have a lady who. Is she. Okay, I was very confused. And
Okay.
now I feel like I'm the Neil. Was she. So she was cheating on her husband?
Yep.
Yes.
With a prostitute.
With a sex worker
With a male
guy.
Yeah.
Sex
The male,
worker guy, man.
yeah.
Okay. So there was that.
Yep.
I was very confused because she was talking about him like, and the orgasms at $25 a pop or whatever, but I didn't know if she was being sarcastic or not. I was very confused. Like, I think after the raft, I was so like, what the fuck? I don't understand what's
You
happening
just sort of
anymore.
tapped out and you're like,
Yeah, I was like,
just-
wait, what's happening? And she, like, I talk to myself too, but I mean, girl monologues. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and she
Oh,
doesn't,
yeah.
sometimes when you talk to yourself, you're not talking in your regular voice. She's
Right.
talking in like full voice.
Mm-hmm.
Driving a car. And she drives like this, literally, because she ends up hitting a person. And it's a dark road, a dark, twisty, like, road. And she's distracted.
Drops a cigarette, yep.
Yeah, because she's smoking, so she gets distracted. Same thing. Could have been texting.
Yeah.
She does that, and where she hits a person, not surprisingly. So again, this has possibility to be a really cool story, because I like that idea of like, oh, what are you gonna do? Conscience, can I live with this?
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, which I love. It's like I felt like we were gonna have something like that, and it didn't quite pan out how I was hoping it would. We get Stephen King as the truck driver with his very astute observation of looks like a black guy.
I know. It's kind of like all the good you did in Creepshow.
It makes you like hide your face. It's like, thanks.
You're like, yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. When they're writing the script, like, they put that in there, you're just kind of like, what does that even...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
Why?
point?
What does that
Like,
add?
what does that do with
It
anything?
feels like you're just adding,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's like filler, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless
You
they're
know?
trying to establish his character as just being a...
But
Oh,
his
he's
character
black,
has
who
one
cares?
line, and that's
Yeah.
the line you give him?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I would have rather that this was like about like almost like a racism thing. Like, she's like, oh, he's just some black man. Who cares? I can get away with this.
Yeah,
Or
I feel like it kind of is, though.
yeah, but it's not.
It's not
again,
spoken.
It's not enough. It's like it comes up to the
Right.
like comes right up, but it doesn't go over. It doesn't sink the basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like you can read that into it, but it wasn't strong enough with her monologue.
The only reason why I read that into it is
Yeah.
because after she's hit him like 3 or 4 or 5 times or whatever, she's offers him $50. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
the sex worker got 150, you
Yeah.
know, and you're offering $50 to the guy you've run over
That's
like
true.
multiple times now. Like,
Multiple times
you know,
now,
clearly
ma'am.
you don't give a shit.
No,
So-
exactly. Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I felt it was kind of a race thing, just
well, I prefer that.
more
Yeah.
inferred than spoken.
I prefer that. Like I would have rather it was more heavy-handed, just like the last chapter in the first one was more heavy-handed,
Right.
but still subtle. I don't know. Felt like we could have matched at least, but instead it's just boring.
See, this is my favorite episode of the 3.
And that's
It's the one I found the most interesting.
Yeah.
Of the 3, and I thought the acting was the best of the 3. Like, I thought the gal who played Annie Lansing was the character's name. Like, I thought as far as acting went, I liked her the most. if I have to pick, if I had to pick
Yeah.
someone that I thought was doing a believable job.
She's definitely like, yeah.
But I mean, I do like that monologue where she's like, that'll be $3,000, Mrs. Lansing, and like all she cared about was like
Yeah.
how much things
It's money.
cost.
Yeah, it was
Because
money.
her husband's
Yeah.
probably obsessed about it, though.
Right.
And she's
Right.
probably been beaten down over it or something. I don't know, but clearly they're not close. They're very close if she's out,
Yeah.
doing her own thing. But she just kept-
Gallivanting.
yeah, out exactly, and she just keeps always talking about the cost of things. Well, that's another $2,000 for that. And,
Yeah.
Right.
But
And
But I'm just
yeah.
saying, like, the cost of everything is more than what she offers the
Jesus.
person
Right.
that she hits.
Yeah.
That is the lowest price she puts on something is
Yes.
this black person that she hits.
It's really fucked up, and I just wish it had been heavier handed with its racism, classism message.
right. Well, and again, you wonder because George Romero wrote the script to this.
Yeah, it's like Stephen King is like loosely based on the stories of Stephen King,
Right.
but I think it was more like kind of in name only. I could be wrong. I don't know enough about this, but when I tangentially Googled,
Got it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, we know from Romero, what he writes for other things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
Normally, he's very
a
very
good writer.
on the pulse.
And he,
Yeah.
on the pulse, and doesn't shy away from
Tough conversations.
conversations
Yeah.
and having people of color in his movies and gender and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's not a deal with him. So I wonder in this how much got lost.
Yes.
They did.
or how
and
much
they
they made him take out.
Right. How much
yeah.
got cut? How much did they have to not do? Because maybe this absolutely was a thing about racism.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then New World's like, screw that. What's the point of all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, horror people are dumb.
Right.
They don't care about social commentary.
Exactly.
Which
But-
is crazy because horror's full of social commentary.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. So I just wonder about that because this film
Yeah.
is so
Right.
wrong.
It feels like, now that you put it that way, and I'm thinking about it, it feels like they're talking down to us horror fans with this one. Whereas, like, the first one was a love letter.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have the love.
This was just a money grab.
yeah.
So George did not direct this one, obviously. This was
Right.
Michael Gornick, who was the
Cinematographer.
cinematographer on the first movie. But yeah, this one got lost.
And then, of course, my favorite part of this, I say that kind of sarcastically, but maybe it is the end when the creep is like in the truck and he's real again and he's like, all the way down the street,
Yeah.
like throwing comic books like flowers.
Yes, all the way down. and
to
it's like-
nobody.
Nobody, because he's out in the middle of
You're like, who's gonna
nowhere.
get those?
And I again get the, like, they're saying like, oh, he's papering the world in Creepshow, but it's like he's papering a desolate country road. And then, of
Yes.
course, we have stupid Billy. What does he say, Neil? What does he say at the end?
They eat meat.
I knew I was saving that for you because I
thank
knew
you.
that was going to be like special for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Billy. Again,
Billy.
Captain Obvious was the one that actually directed
That's right. It was
this
full on
piece.
epaulets, the whole thing. Boom. Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
But they're. Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride.
Thanks for the ride, Creepshow 2. It wasn't a good time,
No. Oh,
but it leaves you stuff to talk about.
oh God. Well, you just compare the.
There's no comparing.
The stories, they just weren't clever. I mean, they weren't really. There's just so much bad compared to the first movie. So disappointing.
It's so disappointing.
But anyway, go watch Creepshow 1.
Watch Creepshow 2. I mean, if you have Shudder, it's on there. And I'm glad that I finally saw it so I can at least be a part of the conversation. But I'm also not glad I saw it.
Right.
Yeah.
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 But Tales from the Dark Side, the movie.
Yes.
Another anthology by the same people, basically,
Which is fabulous.
Great film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that one sometime.
Didn't
Next
you say
anthology.
that was like rumored to be
Right.
Creepshow
Cult
3?
Show works too.
Cult
You
Show
did
3
say
at
that.
one point?
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy we got to celebrate halfway to Halloween talking about one of Neil's favorite movies and a movie that he doesn't like at all, because that's also fun.
Well, it's just fun because you obviously, I mean,
It's tough to talk about when you don't like it. That gives you stuff to talk about. So
it does. But if you obviously look at the cult show, Creepshow, look at the font of the cult show. I mean, it's clearly
Font people.
It's clearly an homage.
The goddamn
to Creepshow.
font.
Hold up your mug there. Your mug?
Oh, our mugs too.
Like you mean the guns?
We told you it was gonna get sexy.
I mean, yes, that too. Always.
It just,
22's in there.
Always the guns, Neil.
it just got
Out
sexy.
for my airsoft.
That's all right. I'm rocking the Nerfs, so.
This is an adorable conversation.
They eat meat.
Oh my God, stop. All right, so next week
Next week.
we are celebrating
fun.
something else, another holiday, another
fun.
national holiday.
That's right.
Producer Scott's birthday.
It's Producer Scott Day.
His birthday is actually on Cinco de Mayo. So if you celebrate, also
how you do?
celebrate Producer Scott. Yeah. Producer Scott gets to pick the movie. We let him pick Death to Smoochie that one time, and we didn't learn our lesson.
No.
And so we said, you can pick again.
It's your
Like
birthday.
shortly after.
Very shortly after.
Yeah.
So what are you picking, Scott?
Stay tuned.
No, literally, that's the name of the movie. Stay tuned. You don't have that's it. You don't have to that's what we're watching.
I've never seen Stay Tuned.
Tuned, starring the late, great John Ritter.
And you know what? We haven't talked about him enough, but he is on our pantheon.
Oh, yeah.
He is God status.
Yeah, that guy
I
is
freaking love
amazing.
that man. Yeah.
Yeah. He would.
We all love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put John Ritter way up there.
He's a god to us.
All right. So Stay Tuned, which is a comedy. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it? It's kind of like
Adventure?
comedy adventure, maybe. I don't want to say sci-fi, but like speculative, maybe. I don't know. It's
Okay.
got John Ritter, and you're
We'll-
supposed to laugh.
We'll find out next week.
Will we
Find
laugh?
Will we laugh?
Will we laugh? Will we
That'll
cry?
be the thing.
I've seen this movie once before, but I think I was high, and I don't remember it.
Were you high on
High
smack?
on the smack.
Yes, it was during my smack period.
On the pralines and smack.
In the Thor. What's the Thor part? You have to explain that to me. I don't get the Thor part.
Instead of the glass, you know. It's the appendage of Thor.
Later.
Crack pipes look like a paint.
That's what they call them. We'll talk about it
Yeah,
later.
We'll talk
Later.
about it.
Talk about it
Someone
later.
explain it to me
Good
when I'm
God.
older. Okay. All right, everybody.
You have to cuddle from below and then.
I don't have to
No.
do that at all. Okay. Good night, everybody. Happy halfway to Halloween.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Go watch Creepshow 1.
Go what? Creepshow what? Creepshow t-shirts.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Creepshow blanket. Creepshow pillow.
Vision's Truth. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Mindy. Thank you,